Today, I'm going to be showing you how to build this n8n automation that generates a complete branded proposal from your transcript. You'll stop wasting 20 to 30 minutes digging through calls to extract information, and you'll cut your speed to proposal down to just a couple minutes. I'm going to show you a live demo, then we'll break down the setup. For this demo, I'm using a templatized document with placeholders that tell the automation where to insert the text and tables. Once I submit this form, the automation runs. First, it extracts the ID from the URL and uses the Fireflies node to grab the transcript. The data gets formatted in a code node before going into the LLM to extract the relevant information. Next, another LLM uses Gemini File Search to find case studies that match the proposal. The automation copies the template and replaces all the placeholders with the extracted information. After that, it grabs the raw document content to identify two things: where the case studies go and where the tables should be placed, including how many rows are needed. Once that's done, it inserts the case studies, creates a table, fills in the cell values, and emails you the finished proposal to review and send off to your prospects. If you want this workflow, click the link in my description. You can download the n8n template for free or book a call with me if you need a custom solution built for your business. Alright, so now let's set this up. So with every automation, there has to be a trigger. I'm using an n8n form trigger that runs the workflow when you submit the Fireflies URL. You could also connect it to your CRM and trigger it automatically when a prospect hits a different stage in your pipeline. Next, you want to connect your Fireflies account to n8n. To do that, you'll need your API key. So in Fireflies, go to the developer settings and copy the API key, then open the third node. Go ahead and create a new credential, then paste your API key. Hit save and this message should appear, which means it's good to go. Now, configure the prompt for the LLM. This extracts all the proposal information from your transcript. Keep the rules and formatting section as is, but you might need to adjust the item definitions based on how your proposal is structured. If you want the LLM to extract additional information, you'll need to do two things. First, add the definition for your new field in the prompt where the others are defined. Second, update the JSON output structure at the bottom to include that field. To add a new field to the JSON, copy the existing structure, paste it, and rename the keys to match what you need. If you're not sure whether your JSON is valid, paste it into jsonformatter.org or just ask ChatGPT to check it. Next, configure the AI agent that uses Gemini File Search to find relevant case studies. Most of the setup happens in the Gemini File Search configuration itself. The prompt is already good to go. You'll only need to adjust two things in the prompt. First, the output structure and the formatting rules. For the output structure, look at how the case studies are formatted in my template. Each one has a number, client name, and details. If your template doesn't number the case study, just remove the key from the JSON and delete the first formatting rule. To set up the Gemini File Search, you'll use the additional workflows I've included. One creates the file storage, and the others set up a two-way sync between that storage and a Google Drive folder where you keep your case studies. Whenever you add a new case study to the folder, the automation syncs it to the database so the AI agent can use it in future proposals. I've created a separate video linked in the description that walks you through on how to set up Gemini File Search if you need a more detailed guide. Now that the LLM is configured, we need to templatize the documents. Open your proposal and add placeholders wherever you want the automation to insert information. The placeholders should match what you defined in the LLM extraction prompt. Now, you don't have to use the double curly brackets like I did. You could just use one square bracket or parentheses or whatever works. Just make sure your placeholder doesn't appear anywhere else in the document. For example, if you use overview as a placeholder, the automation will replace every instance of that word, including headings. So just keep that in mind. Once your document is templatized, open the set node and add your document URL along with the placeholders for the table and case studies. Next, connect your Google credential to the copy file and update document nodes. The Google Drive node will make a copy of your template so you can keep a master version for future proposals. The Google Docs node replaces the placeholder with extracted information. If this is your first time connecting Google to n8n, you'll need a client ID and client secret. Search Google Cloud Console in your browser and click the first link. Open the menu on the left, go to APIs and Services, then Library. Search for and enable both the Google Drive API and Google Docs API. Once both are enabled, go back to API and Services and click Credential. At the top, create an OAuth client ID. Select Web Application, give it a name, and add an authorized redirect URI. Now go back to n8n to copy the OAuth redirect URL and paste it into the URI field, then hit create. Make sure you save your client ID and secret somewhere because you won't be able to view them later. Now you can add your client ID and secret to n8n and hit save. You'll need to do the same for the Google Docs node. Once both credentials are connected, open the Google Docs node. This is where you'll map your LLM output to the placeholders in your document. Now just run the automation up to the set node so you can easily drag and drop the inputs. The old text field is where you'll add the placeholder, and the new text will be the output from the first LLM. You'll have to repeat this process until you've covered all the placeholders. Once that's done, you'll just need to connect your Google Docs credential to these HTTP nodes. So go ahead and open one of these nodes. Under authentication, select predefined credential type and search for Google Docs OAuth 2 API, and then select the credential you just connected for the Google Docs node. And the last two nodes here will just download the finished proposal and add it as an attachment to the email that'll notify you when it's done. So there you have it, an automated proposal generator that you only need to set up once, then let it run in the background. If you guys have any questions about this or would like to see any other automations, leave a comment down below and I'll see you guys in the next one.